Howdy, guys. So, thought I'd do a little story time today. Had a dream this morning that I wanted to share. And it kind of goes into the story time that I told y'all I was going to give you the day I got those new waist beads from my home girl back down in Alabama, my home state. Healing hands of a goddess. Shout out to you. So, this is something I don't talk about often. I talk about it in my readings and things of that nature, but I haven't truly gotten on here and just explained some of the things that actually happen in the midst of quote-unquote spiritual warfare, things of that nature. So we're going to take it back. We're going to take it back a couple of years. We'll take it back a couple of years. Once upon a time, I had a really good friend. Someone I would consider a sister. I've had a lot of those experiences, so we're not going to single anybody out, but those that don't know, and if you don't know, it's just pay attention to the story, because it's not about the specific person in this situation. I had a friend did some foul shit to me. I was just coming into my spiritual gifts. I confronted said friend about something that I had seen or had a feeling about, a strong feeling. What is it? What is it? Clairsentience, the clear knowing? Yeah, I have that. So, stuff just poofs to me, and it's like, oh, this is what's going on. Okay, but I didn't know that then. So I confronted said friend, and said friend denied the shit out of it. Couple of weeks later, said friend breaks up with me. Literally, like, I can't be your friend. I don't think it's a good idea for us to be friends anymore. I can't be your friend anymore. The gist of it was like, you are going somewhere I can't. And we just need to go separate ways. So, okay, that kind of stung. But anywho, said friend was still around. Didn't really go anywhere. And I thought that was kind of strange. But, after I'd already confronted them her about certain things, I was real naive back then. I didn't think anything of it until later. I just said, forget it, whatever. Either a few months down the line or almost a year down the line, close to my birthday, I get a message from this person. I actually run into this person, said friend, ex-friend at this point in time, and she tells me exactly, what I was feeling at that moment in time about what I confronted her about was in fact true. It was true. And she apologized, and at that point I no longer cared. It's kind of aggy, because especially when you're coming into your gifts, like I doubted a lot of the gifts that I had, because people would hear me speak or look at me crazy when I would say certain things, and they were like, oh no, that's not. So, I doubted myself a little bit. I don't do that now as much, but then, yeah, a little bit. But this person even tried to befriend me once again. I wasn't feeling it. Even my own spirit team had warned me against such numerous times. And there was one occasion where they showed up to a function that was for me, and they sat next to me, and they had on this bell bracelet. And the minute they sat next to me and congratulated me for this situation, I think it was my birthday, they told me happy birthday, they sat next to me, and their bell bracelet just popped. Bells went flying everywhere. It's like, ring the alarms. So I thought that was strange. I kind of laughed. I was like, oh, what's going on? And they're scrambling, trying to pick up all the bells and shit. But yeah, fast forward to last year. I noticed every year around my birthday, since that moment, things were a little off. It's like everything will be cool. For me, everything's flowing, and then around my birthday, things would get weird. So if y'all have been following me for any amount of time, I created a new website for myself, madamzenny.com. Go check it out if you haven't. I know it's got to, go through some updates and everything, but bear with me because I'm getting into that. I made sure I wanted it done before my birthday because I didn't want it to get thwarted in any way. Because, of course, you do your spiritual protection and things of that nature. But sometimes you are intended to go through things so that you have to fight. Now, I started out in the occult. I really did. I started out in the occult on the darker side of things. And then I kind of moved over to the light because I didn't want to be that person. But I had to naturally be reminded that I am that person. I've always been that person. So around my birthday, it was some weird shit going on last year. I was dealing with a lot of anxiety all of a sudden. Like, I cut my hair, and I said I didn't want to cut my hair. Again, I've cut my hair numerous times, so I'm no stranger to being bald-headed. I'm not. But this particular time, like, I truly did not want to cut my hair. But it was like I kept pulling in it, like, from anxiety, and I didn't know what it was from. I thought it was just because I was stressed because of some of the things that were going on in my life at that time. But come to find out, there has been someone actively doing work for a while, but really for over the past year. And they start at my birthday, and then they work from every full moon after that each month. And I noticed a lot of synchronicities because I didn't figure this out until maybe November of last year. I had a little help from a friend of mine, and they kind of filled me in on something that was going on behind the scenes because I was like, I don't even talk to this person no more. Why are they doing this? Why would they be doing this? So yeah. So I cut my hair, went through all this. In November, it kind of came up to a head last year. There was a lot of stuff that happened last year in November. But in this particular moment, I actually had a car accident. And I don't want to say accident because I wasn't harmed, but there was a person that was actually hit. I hit a person. Never hit a person in my life. I rarely have accidents, and when I usually do is somebody else's situation, somebody else's fault. I'm trying to maneuver out of the way. But this person, they were definitely, I saw them in the store, and as I was passing them in the store, they kind of looked at me. You know how you feel like he looks like a homeless guy or whatever. But you know how you can feel when somebody is glaring at you. So I felt that, like, we kind of locked eyes, and then I walked away from him, like, quickly. I was trying to get the hell up out of there. So I paid for my things, got out. I'm pulling out of this market driveway, and all of a sudden, like, it's hella traffic. All of a sudden, this guy comes out of nowhere. Same guy that glared at me in the store. He was carrying a box of Coke and some other things. But when I tell you he came out of nowhere, because I was merging into the turning lane because my turn is like right there. So hit the man, freaked me the fuck out. I screamed, braked immediately, stopped, put on the hazard lights. It was a whole scene. Man had blood dripping all the way down the road. So yeah. After that, it was a little shaken up and things of that nature. But the situation was handled. He was fine. I even called the hospital to check up on him and things of that nature. But I just want to clarify that these were all the parts of the spiritual warfare that was going on behind the scenes that I wasn't aware of. Even had a whole thing of like personality disorder breakdown, like literally fractured mental at that moment in time. Anywho, fixed all of that, got all that shit together. But moving forward into now, this year, after I got my website, updated and everything, published it, everything was going well. And then my birthday hit and business started getting slow. Orders started being slow to come in. I'm not getting as many, like my normal clients, like, because I have faithful clients that I see all the time. They were even slowing up on their contributions, their consultations and things of that nature. Like the things that I knew were constant, those things were slowing down. I had things begin to fall apart, and at this point I'm like, whatever. Whatever. But in June, because I started realizing that this was a pattern, I began to do certain things to counteract that. I started fighting back because I hadn't been fighting back before, because I wasn't sure that this was that person. I didn't just want to fight aimlessly because at first I was doing spiritual work, and I was just doing it not aimlessly per se, but directing it at the people who were sending it. Not directly, but it had to get to the point where it was direct because I was shown. But even then, I was shown it was still glimpses, and I wasn't 100% sure. But recently, coming up to last night, I had a dream. This same friend that did all this some time back, for over like a year or so, she was in my dream. She was in my dream, and she wasn't in my dream. I was in her dream, because I do have that gift as well. Some of you will see me in your dreams from time to time, and it's not my dream. I'm in your dream, either helping or just whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing. By the way, this is not marijuana. This is my herbal blend. But yeah, she was in my dream, and I was in her back seat. I was in her back seat, and the back seat was junky as shit. Like, it was everything back there. Like, everything but the fucking kitchen sink was back there. So I don't know if, I can't say she was living in her whatever, because she literally drove to a home. She literally drove to a home, and she got out. And I thought that, we were communicating, but I look back at it now a few minutes ago, and I was like, we really weren't communicating. I was just there observing. And as soon as she came in, as soon as she walked into the house, there was this young lady there. She was shorter, darker skinned. I'm not sure who exactly she was, but it was like she was waiting on her with a piece of paper, and it was an invoice. So as she's waiting, it's a rainbow. As she's waiting with this invoice paper in hand, it's like she's handing it to her as soon as she walks up on the steps. So I don't know if if she was going to this person's house and it was the person who had the invoice, or it was her house. But when I got inside, there was a man sitting at a table. The table was clear. It was the only clear surface in the house. The table was clear. And the man is the man from... if anybody ever seen, what is it, the strange thing about the Johnsons or whatever, that weird shit, that man, the father, he was in it. His name is Billy Mayo, I think. And I didn't realize he had died because I actually looked him up. He died on, they say June 4th, but some things say June 6th as well. If anybody knows, my birthday is June 6th. But I also have a sister that's born on the 4th as well. So it's like the whatever is like kind of it's unsure. Now, if anybody knows this old friend that I'm talking about, she's not sure of her birthday either. It's one of those days, but we're all born in the same month for the most part. Now, when it comes to somebody's calling me, let me decline momentarily. But when it comes to this situation, it's like this man was sitting there, and he told me, he kind of whispered in my ear, he was like, she's been paying this woman for over a year. She's been staying here and nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. She hasn't paid her back and now she's got to pay her back. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? What's going on? I didn't know what was happening. And I didn't think about it until I woke up. But the girl, the Miss Friend, she was like scrambling. She got the paper, looked at the invoice and kind of like looked scared, looked shocked. Like, what the fuck? And she just started scrambling, trying to pick up everything, kind of trying to put things back in place, fix shit. But the homegirl that gave her the invoice didn't leave. So ultimately, this is a situation that has been ongoing for a long time, but that is just a sneak peek into kind of like what the what spiritual warfare can look like in your life, like little nuances that you think are just like regular coincidence, like some things that like don't go your way, or things that seem to be delayed. Those are signs sometimes of spiritual warfare, and that is indeed what was going on in my situation. However, those situations have been rectified as of now, and it's time to pay the piper, and people are scrambling. And all through this time, might I add, even though my shit was slowing down, my money was slowing down, my clientele was slowing down, never have I ever been without. Never have I ever been without food, a roof over my head, shelter, being able to care for myself. And I know a lot of people look and see my stories and stuff, and they be like, oh, well, this bitch living all right. She ordering food, she getting her nails and toes done and shit. She doing this, she on vacation. Yes, because I'm blessed and highly favored, if you want to use those words, that terminology, blessed and highly favored. But I just wanted to put that out there to know that it is okay to fight back. It is okay. I know of a good reader, and I like to say sister friend of mine on here said that, she follows certain principles, do as thou wilt. I can say that I abide by that as well. At this point in time, my peace is everything. So no one will come into my aura, my bubble, my space, and try to disrupt my peace without receiving the backlash of my spirit team. If you want to call them my ancestors of my highest benevolence, my demons, my angels, my deities, even my orishas. And no, I'm not initiated. But, and however, when you're pure of heart and when you're doing the work that you need to do without scheming and without trying to scam people and do shady shit, trust and believe the spirit team, the spirit world will go to bat for you. So I ain't had to do much, but all they wanted me to do was fight back. And bitch, when it comes to my peace now, bitch, we scrapping. We scrapping. I don't even have to do much. But please know, if you come for me and I didn't send for you, you're going to have a whole team coming for that ass. And now it's time for you to pay the invoice. Don't run now. Don't run now. 'Tis what it is. Y'all be easy.